Hello students, today we shall discuss about transmission of pressure in liquids, that is Pascal's law, that is given by Pascal's law. Now what is transmission of pressure? Say a liquid is taken in a container and we want to determine pressure at the depth h1, and this pressure will be h1 rho g, and at the depth h2 the pressure will be h2 rho g. So the difference of pressure at these 2 points, that is given by P2 minus P1, that is H2 minus H1 rho g, that is equal to del H rho g. So the pressure between any 2 points in a liquid depends on the difference of height of these 2 points in the liquid. So the pressure difference depend only on the difference of height. Now if we increase the pressure at this point, say by 5 Newton, then at this point also there will be increment of pressure by 5 Newton at the del P is constant, because del P only depends on del H rho and G, all these terms are constant. So del P, pressure difference between any 2 points in a liquid, is constant. And so if we increase pressure at any point, then there will be also increment in the same amount of pressure at this point. Here if we increase 5 Newton pressure, then here will be also increment in 5 Newton. To another point there will be also increment of pressure in 5 Newton, here also increment of pressure by 5 Newton. So all over the liquid there will be increment of pressure by the same amount. That is, the increased pressure is transmitted throughout the liquid by the same value. That is the Pascal's law. So what is Pascal's law? Pressure exerted anywhere in a confined or stationary liquid will be transmitted equally and undiminished. That is, the value of the pressure will not be changed, undiminished at all directions throughout the liquid. If we increase the pressure at any point, then this increased pressure will be observed at all the points all over the liquids. This is the Pascal's law. This is the one experiment to show the Pascal's law. One liquid is taken in a container, flask, and there are different tubes connected with the side and the bottom of the flask. Now initially the liquid height of the liquid in all the tubes will be same. So the height is same, that is, this is the initial level of liquid in this tube. Now the mouth is confined with a piston, and if we push the piston in downward direction, that is, here on the piston, if a pressure is applied to in downward direction, then there will be rise of the liquid levels in all the tubes, and this rise of level will be up to the same height. Say up to this height in all the tubes there will be rise of the level, that is the liquid reaching the same height. That means the pressure exerted in the liquid, this pressure is transmitted to all the tubes to the same extent, that is, the equal pressure is transmitted, and undiminished and equal pressure is transmitted through all the tubes. As a result, the increment in the height of the liquid level in all the tube is same. This is the proof of Pascal's law. Now there are application of Pascal's law. The application is hydraulic machine. Hydraulic machine is a special type of machine which works based on Pascal's law. Now what is the principle of hydraulic machine? If we see the simple design of hydraulic machine, there are two container in cylinder in a hydraulic machine. One is narrower cylinder, that is denoted by P, and another is the wider cylinder, that is denoted by Q. The two cylinders are connected through a tube, and the two cylinders are filled with a liquid, maybe water or any other liquid. There are two pistons at the mouth of the cylinder. Say at the mouth of the cylinder P there is piston A, and at the mouth of the cylinder Q there is piston B. Now say some weight is put over the piston A, and this weight will apply a pressure, that is P1, or a force, that is F1, and this pressure or force is acting downward direction, and this force is actually the weight of this material which is put in the on the piston. So this pressure is acting in downward direction, and the cross sectional area of this piston is A1. Now this pressure, according to Pascal's law, this pressure will be transmitted through the liquid, and this pressure is then given to the piston B, and this pressure will be in the upward direction in the cylinder Q, that is the piston B will be lifted upward due to this pressure P2. Now according to the Pascal's law, the pressure will be transmitted, that is equal, that means P1 is equal to P2. Now P1 is equal to, we can write F1 by A1, and if the cross sectional area of piston B is A2, and here the force applied is a force that is obtained, that is F2, then F2 by A2, or rearranging them we can write F2 by F1 is equal to A2 by A1. Now we know as A2, that is cross sectional area of piston B, that is very greater than cross sectional area of piston B A, that is A2 is very greater than A1. So we get F2, that is very greater than F1. That means by giving small amount of force F1 on piston A, here we generating a large amount of force or large F2 on piston B, and by this force this piston can be lifted. So here if we put some heavy materials, then these materials can be lifted. So by giving small amount of force we are generating large amount of force. So the main intention of hydraulic machine, this is the force multiplier. Hydraulic machine mainly used as force multiplier. Force multiplier means giving small amount of force we can generate by the means of hydraulic machine large amount of force. Now different types of hydraulic machines are hydraulic press, hydraulic jack, and hydraulic brakes. Now if we see the hydraulic press, what is the construction of hydraulic press? This is hydraulic press. Here you can see there are two cylinder. One is cylinder P, this is the narrower cylinder, and this is cylinder Q, this is the wider cylinder, and these two cylinders are joined through a tube, say connecting pipe, this is R, and the R, and in between the R and the cylinder Q there is a valve V2, and the cylinder P is connected through a tube with the water supply tank, and in between the tube and the cylinder P there is also a valve V1, and the piston A is, the cylinder P is sealed with the piston A, and this piston A is connected with a lever. This is the handle of the lever H, and the cylinder Q that is also connected with the water supply tank through a tube, and this tube and the cylinder Q, in between this there is also a valve. This is called release valve. And the mouth of the piston, at the mouth of the cylinder Q there is piston. This is called press plunger or ram. This is piston B. And the piston A, that is at the mouth of the cylinder P, this is called pump plunger. Now if we raise the handle of this lever, if we raise this handle, what will happen? The pressure in the cylinder P will decrease. We raise the handle, that is the pressure in this cylinder will decrease. As a result, this valve will open in upward direction. It will open in upward direction. Then due to atmospheric pressure, as atmospheric pressure here acting on the upper surface of this water supply tank, then water will enter from the supply tank to the cylinder P through this open valve. Water will enter more and more. Now if we push down the handle, if we push down the handle, what will happen? The pressure inside the cylinder P will increase. Here we applying the pressure in downward direction by pushing the lever. By pushing down the lever, we are applying here pressure. So pressure will increase in the cylinder. As a result, the valve will move in downward direction. Then this valve will be closed. So the liquid runs out from cylinder P through the tube to the cylinder Q, and this valve will open due to the high pressure. And also according to Pascal's law, the pressure will be transmitted from cylinder P to cylinder Q. And as here this piston, that is the press plunger or ram, that has greater cross sectional area than the pump plunger, so here the force applied on the piston B is greater, and by this force this piston can be lifted. And if there is some fixed frame, and if we put here some cotton bales, then as the pressure will increase more and more, then this piston will be lifted more and more. Then this bale of cotton will be compressed in between the fixed frame and the piston. Now after the action of the machine will over, then this release valve will open, so the liquid from the cylinder Q will run out through this tube to the water supply tank. This is actually the working principle of the hydraulic press. So in hydraulic press also, by giving small amount of force, say here we are giving the amount of force, that is F1, here we are generating a large amount of force. Here the force is given, that is the F2, that is where F2 is very greater than F1. That is by giving small amount of force, here we generating large amount of force. Thus any material can be compressed very easily by hydraulic press. So hydraulic press is used for pressing cotton bales, for goods like quilts, books, etc. are pressed. For extracting juice from sugar canes, hydraulic press is used. For squeezing oil out of cotton seeds, it is used. All these are by pressing, by high pressure the materials are compressed and then we get juice or oil, etc. Number 2 is hydraulic jack or hydraulic lift. This is also working on based on Pascal's law. What is the construction of hydraulic lift? Here also there are two cylinder, one is narrow cylinder, this is P, another is wider cylinder, this is Q. These two are connected through a tube and there is a valve at the middle of the tube. Now the piston A at the mouth of the narrower cylinder, this is connected with the lever, and the piston B of the wider cylinder, that is connected with a platform above which we can put any vehicle, heavy vehicle like car or trucks, etc. And because this hydraulic jack, this is used in the service station for repairing different automobiles like cars, trucks, etc. So here what is the working principle? Here if we by pushing down the handle we generate here pressure in the cylinder P. Then due to this pressure this valve will open, so liquid will run out from cylinder P to the cylinder Q, and also pressure will be transmitted according to Pascal's law from cylinder P to cylinder Q. So here we are giving the force F1 and here we are generating the force F2 in upward direction. Here we are giving the force F1 downward direction, generating the force in upward direction, where this force F2 is very greater than F1. Thus by this force any heavy material like car or truck can be lifted to the desired height. After reaching the desired height, if we stop pushing the handle, then what will happen? Then pressure at the two sides will be same as we here stop pushing the handle, so the pressure will be same, so the valve will be closed. So there will be no transmission of pressure or liquid from one cylinder to another cylinder, so the car will remain at the same height. This is the working principle of hydraulic jack. Now the another one is hydraulic brakes. Hydraulic brakes, these are used in car and this works also based on Pascal's principle. Now what is hydraulic brake? Here also there are two cylinder, one is narrow cylinder, this is called master cylinder, and the another is wider cylinder, this is called wheel cylinder Q. And at the mouth of the narrow cylinder there is a piston A which is connected to the foot pedal, which we press when we want to use brake in car. And this master cylinder and the wheel cylinder, they are connected through a tube and both the cylinders are filled with a liquid. Now at the wheel cylinder there are two pistons at the mouth, piston B1 and piston B2. These two pistons are connected with the brake shoe. Here the picture of one wheel is given. So these are connected with two brake shoes and these brake shoes are connected with rim of wheel. Now if we press the foot pedal, what will happen? We are pressing the foot pedal when we want to use the brake. So we are generating here some amount of force or some amount of pressure in this direction on this piston. So according to Pascal's law, pressure as well as liquid pressure will be transmitted from this cylinder P to the cylinder Q, as well as liquid will also flow from P to Q. As here the piston B1, piston B2 has greater cross sectional area, so here the force applied, that is the F2. Here's the force applied are F2 and this F2 are very greater than F1. So the brake shoes will move in outward direction. Brake shoes will move in outward direction. So the brake shoes gets compressed in between the rim of wheel. Then there will be retardation of the motion of the car. As the brake shoes gets compressed by the rim of wheel, they are moving in outward direction, so they will be compressed by rim of wheel, so there will be retardation of the motion of car. Now if we release the pressure from the foot pedal or release the force from the foot pedal, then the pressure will be released in the master cylinder P. Then from the wheel cylinder, liquid will flow from the wheel cylinder to the master cylinder. As a result, the spring will return the brake shoes to their original position. As a result, the car again starts to move. So this is the working principle of hydraulic brakes, or the brakes we use in car. Now, so for any hydraulic machine, the effort we are giving, that is always less than the load that is produced. That is, effort means the force that is given, then load means the force that is produced. So always force produced is greater than force given, that means load is always greater than effort. But we know work done by effort is equal to work done by load. The work done by effort is same to the work done by load, and we know work done is equal to force into displacement. Work done is equal to force into displacement. So we can write effort, that is the force given, into distance moved by effort, that is equal to load, that is the force produced, into distance moved by load. Now as effort is less than load and these two are equal, so distance moved by effort will be greater than distance moved by load, as effort is less than load. Now what is the mechanical advantage of hydraulic machine? A mechanical advantage is given by the ratio load by effort. So for any hydraulic machine, this mechanical advantage is greater than 1 always, because always load is greater than effort, so mechanical advantage greater than 1. And what is the velocity ratio VR for any hydraulic machine? That is the distance moved by effort by distance moved by load. And as we know, the distance moved by effort is greater than distance moved by load, so this ratio is always greater than 1. So VR is also greater than 1 for any hydraulic machine. So any hydraulic machine is used as force multiplier, that is, by giving small amount of force we can generate large amount of force. This is the principle of hydraulic machine. Okay, thank you.